So this video here today is going to be on the Archimedes heat ray, and I want to apply that to bushcraft. If you're not familiar with that, simply Google Archimedes heat ray or heat death ray, and you'll find the exact same thing. Wikipedia has a nice explanation. So we'll try to explain all that here in the next few minutes, and then go out there and actually attempt it in a more realistic bushcrafty way. In a nutshell, we're going to utilize the power of the sun, not only reflect the light, but reflect the heat as well to an area where I want to say is shade, okay? You're in a shaded area. You're going to bring the light and the heat to that area. Then utilize that light and heat source to start a fire or create an ember so you can light a fire. And to my knowledge, this has not been done like this. My old mentor, Jason Hunt from Campcraft Outdoors, back when he was the lead of the Pathfinder School, he showed this to me, and that has been basically forgotten for the past 7 or 8 years. I've always kept it in the back of my mind. I always want to go out there and try it, put it on video. So I'm going to go ahead and give credit where credit's due, and we're going to go out there and attempt this. Now, before we get started, we need to understand how this actually works. So the myth is that Archimedes, back in like 212 BC, came up with some way to create a curved mirror, or what they had as a curved mirror, and put 2 or 3, maybe 4 or 5, even 10 of these up in a curved manner. So the mirrors are in a curved location facing outward towards the sea. Now, just like today in the military, we have interlocking fields of fire, meaning you don't just start shooting and spraying everywhere. If you're right here, your area is going to be right in front of you and maybe slightly to the right of you. So your weapon can go from here to here. The guy next to you will go straight, and when he gets to the leftmost part, it'll be aimed this way. So when you're shooting, I'm going to aim over here, he's firing across here, you're firing across there, creates an X. It's called overlapping fields of fire. And the whole entire line is designed like that. So at any moment, you can just move your weapon left or to the right, and you're covering this entire area. Looking at it right here, you only see this. With a weapon aimed outward, it could be like this, okay? And everybody is interlocked with everybody else. Well, Archimedes came up with an idea for mirrors to do the exact same thing. I want one to hit a ship's sail right here. I want this one to hit at an angle. I want this one to hit at an angle as well. I want this further one to hit down here. All of it focused into one centralized area. Now, before we get too far down the trail, the Etsy store is open. Once again, my Etsy store is open. That link is inside my video description box. We have 100 Corporals Corner hybrid skillets dropping right now. The hybrid took place of the Corporals Corner cold handle skillet and the Corporals Corner folding cold handle skillet. The handle pops right off, has a unique design. Your pan can double as a bowl or a plate. Space saver. When you're ready for it, simply pop it back on, hear that lock, and you're in business. Now, one last thing about these pans. No one except myself or Survival Mastery Online is authorized to use my image or my likeness to create ads, whether they be real or fake, whatsoever. So if you see that being peddled around, do me a favor, go to the 3 dots on that page and on that ad, click it and report them for intellectual property theft. That right there falls under copyright infringement, and click on it and you're going to see where it says photos. Do me a favor, fill it all out and report them. I have a legit business that's an LLC that I am proud of, that I've worked hard to get, and with individuals causing problems when playing games, all it does is just fuel the fire and cause more problems for me, and ultimately more for them. So if you see that being peddled around, please do me the favor, report them, and then message me. Now, think of a fire pit and the infamous building a wall behind it. Now, people interchange the terms windscreen and reflector. When you have a wooden wall behind a fire, you're not reflecting anything. You're creating a windscreen to block that wind. Now, if you put some type of shiny material behind it, stainless steel, shiny aluminum, shiny steel, mylar, things like that, you're going to reflect that light from that fire as well as some of the heat. That's why those emergency blankets on one side have that shiny material. So you can get that heat and bump it up, also bring that light down on top of you. So think of it like that. Now, with a mirror, you're doing the exact same thing. A mirror can do both. It can not only reflect the light from one area to another, but you're also going to bring that heat with it. Now, every time you reflect it again and again and again, you're going to lose light. There's a whole math equation on this, and you're going to lose heat. So the trick is get it from one source to where you're at, or multiple sources to where you're at in the shade. That way it's still 100% at minimum of what the sunlight will give you, or it's actually more than 100% because you've bumped it up, thus creating more light and more heat. And that's where Archimedes came up with that idea that if I focus the light and the heat and we bump it up with several mirrors that are interlocking, a ship's sail or wood should burst into flame. Now, did it happen? Some say yes, some say no. Mythbusters tried it. Several other people have tried it. Some say yay, some say nay. Some say it could happen, it is possible. But the realities of it back then, slim to none. But let's apply this to bushcraft and survival. Let's say you're injured. You're laying underneath the shade somewhere, or it's extremely hot. You don't want to move throughout the day, but you need a fire for some reason. You need to get water disinfected for treating wounds or for at least drinking water. You need a fire to warm yourself in the evenings. You don't want to move out in that sun. Let's say you're already blistered and sunburned. You don't want to get burnt even worse. How am I going to light a fire if all I had was solar, but I'm laying here in the shade? What you could simply do, place some mirrors or a mirror out into a field. You know at a certain time of day, between say 7 a.m. and noon, that beam of light is going to hit that mirror and shoot it to you. Now all you got to do is bump it up with a magnifying glass or sun lens or another curved mirror, light a piece of char cloth or char material, and get that fire going. So that's a long, drawn-out explanation of what we're going to try today. But guess what? It does work. How do I know? Because I've done it. Now let's go out here and fight the wind and get her done. So the first thing we're going to do here is create some char cloth. We have our 100% cotton from our wife beater tank top. Toss that in there. Place the lid on top of that. And we'll do it right here on the stove. Go ahead and place these 3 mirrors in the ground, and the sun's path of travel is right here. This is east to west. I'm going to focus it in the shade in that direction on a tree, and I'll show you that here in a minute. There we go. And there's that one. And this last one here. So there's the shade right there. You zoom in here, there's the 3 dots. And what we're going to try to do here is join all 3 of those into one focal point. These pivoting mirrors, as I can move it up and down, left and right to my liking. There we go, there's one. Like I said, that wind's pretty bad, but here's our char cloth. You can do the exact same thing with punk wood and turn it into char material. I'll save that for later. Let's go ahead and focus those light beams and get her done. Now, believe it or not, I can actually feel the heat. We're in the shade, but it feels like my hand is actually in the sun right now. So simply taking a sun lens or a magnifying glass You can see that right there, or I can focus that beam. We're going to utilize this to bump that heat up even more. And there we go. So that was a pretty successful first test using the 3 mirrors. We bumped the light up as well as the heat. Let's go ahead and remove the 2 outside mirrors and focus on the center one and see if we get the same result. But first, I have a request. I asked about 2 or 3 videos ago if somebody or if anybody knew a family member, friend, etc. that worked in Meta, meaning Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, preferably all 3. If you do, please contact me on Facebook Messenger. I have a lot of things I want to discuss. Some things never been done before, and we have a whole lot more to talk about. So if you know somebody, please message me directly to Facebook or Instagram, and let's get it done. Now, let's get out there and use that mirror. So now let's go ahead and take away these and see if we can do it with just 1 mirror. And there we go. So far, so good. We're looking outstanding. Now let's up the ante. Let's grab a curved mirror. This is 10 times magnification. The downside of this is you can't grab that light and shoot it somewhere else. It will actually take the light and bend it at the top, and it will come out the bottom, but it will be magnified. Let's try to use this to ignite our char cloth. And there we go. Now, bringing this into a bushcraft and survival world, we just talked about lighting fires with it. What about signaling? Let's say you knew or you thought you saw a river way down there, and you knew at a certain time of the day the sun's going to travel across this direction and aim directly across from where that river would be at, or what you think is a highway. You just can't get down to it because it would take you 2 or 3 days. Say you set these mirrors up to where they'd focus in that area. Someone's going to see that, and it's going to stay lit for an hour, 2 or 3 as that sun travels across. And just like a signal mirror, you can actually use the edges of that mirror to still get that light aimed where you want it to be. But again, unless you are injured or you're forced to stay in a shaded area, could you just walk out into the sun with a magnifying glass, light something and walk back in, take a couple seconds? Yes, you could. But when you apply it in something like a signaling mentality where you have active and passive, this is technically a passive signaling method. It's sticking it into the ground on a pole, duct taping it. You know that sun's going to hit it. You've already tried it. It's already there. So you could have something reflective for several hours along with your flags ready to go in case somebody were to walk by or fly by on an airplane, things like that. They're going to see those type of things. Versus you actively out there with a mirror trying to do this kind of thing, it's already going to be in place. So when you look at it like that, that is reality versus trying to light a fire like this, because you can just walk out into the sun and light that fire. Now, do I believe this occurred in history, 212 BC and other time periods? Who knows? I wasn't there. But Indiana Jones seems to think that it did, so that's good enough for me. Don't forget, we have those 100 skills dropping right now to my Etsy store. That link is in my video description box. You're supporting my business, my channel, and I appreciate every single one of you that bought one and those that will buy one. We're going to drop them every week at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, along with the Sunday video. On that note, let's go ahead and get out of here. With that, all gear in my videos can be found on 2 places. 1, my Amazon affiliate page, and 2, my Etsy store. Both links are found inside my video description box. Now, please do me that favor. Hit that like and subscribe button, then ring that notification bell. Once you ring that bell, please select all notifications. As always, thank you for your comments, views, and support. Thanks for watching. Get out in the field, have some fun. I'm going to catch you next time.